arrived and it was lovely and, well, not sunny, but it wasn't raining. But now as soon as we arrived it started to rain. But we are prepared this time. Miss Hannah's all wrapped up and I've got my raincoat as well, so we're going ahead. But yes, here we are in the Green Mountains and about to find our trail and start hiking.
Anywhere you go, give it on. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Hannah, look at the mushrooms. See these? These are tree mushrooms. Are you enjoying? Yeah, you look like you're super happy. Super happy. So unfortunately, this was just that little bit too steep. I mean, I didn't want to risk it because I was worried we would tumble off, especially in this really wet, slippery weather, and then coming back up, it's going to be interesting. I didn't want to risk toppling over, so we're gonna call it the end of the track for us here. We didn't make it to Moran's Falls, but that's okay because we're going to try a different trail and see what else we can do. Okay, so we had a bit of a tricky bit over some of the steps. I had to actually lift Hannah's front wheel and basically drag her up the steps. And then there was a really sort of difficult corner, which was a bit tricky, and where Hannah had a bit of a tumble with the chair. It didn't go far, it just sort of turned on its side and we turned it back again. But yeah, once we were down, we thought, well, we might as well keep walking and hopefully somebody will come. And I knew my brother was coming later as well to meet us, so I thought if we get stuck, we'll wait till Uncle Mark gets here and helps us. Anyway, there were some lovely people who helped us out, weren't they, Hannah? Yeah, they helped push us up that tricky corner. But yes, I think if any wheelies are coming this way, definitely bring 2 people to help push up those tricky bits. I didn't want to risk it going past that second set of rocks around that corner. It just looked too slippery and yeah, too easy to lose control and have the chair just tumble down the hill. So yeah, not a fun thing for someone in a chair. Anyway, so far Hannah's just loving it and we're going to go up and turn around for Pipe and Rock. So alright, let's keep going. Just having a bit of a rest. It's actually not too hard pushing her uphill like a normal dirt path with rocks and things, but for some reason this chair is terrible when it comes to sealed paths. It just makes it really hard. So I actually prefer it where there's no sealed path, but it is what it is. So just to show you where we got to, we started here and we made it past that first hairy one. That's where we kind of like, she went onto the side and we had to straighten the chair up again. And well, we thought we've already made it down, we had to sort of keep going. So we went down to this next bit and that's where we decided, no, that's just way too difficult. So we came back up again. But yeah, definitely if you're doing an all-terrain wheelchair, I would definitely have 2 people to help you up the steps, because the steps can be a little bit tricky. Even the wide steps, I had to lift up the front of the chair to get her up. So definitely a 2-person job to do that, and it is a class 4 track, so yeah, something to be aware of. So yeah, we did a fair bit of walking. My arms and my legs are quite sore and I'm just contemplating whether or not to do Pipe and Rock, but I left a note on the car to say to my brother that we're taking Moran's Falls, because I said to him, if we're stuck, come and rescue us. So I'm worried that if I go to Pipe and Rock, we won't get back in time and he'll start walking there wondering what's happened to us. So I think we'll call it a day. We'll head up to O'Reilly's, wait at the cafe there, and then if we feel up to it, we might come back and do the Pipe and Rock lookout, which apparently is a lot more accessible. Watch out! Hannah, have you been commandeered? Kidnapped? Wheelie advice for Moran's Falls. Always bring a raincoat. Even if it's not raining at the time, it's always best to be prepared. Bring 2 support persons. Although it is possible to do part of the trail with 1 support person, it's much safer and easier to have 2, especially when going over the stairs. Consider wearing a helmet. When the chair did turn on its side, there was a moment when we did consider the importance of wearing a helmet. In this situation, nothing happened and everything was okay, but this could have easily become a major accident. It doesn't hurt to put on a helmet. Bring in Allen key or gaffer tape. At the time, the handle of the wheelchair actually popped out of its socket. Mum was able to get it back in again and there was no further problem with it. However, she did leave the Allen key in the car, which wasn't very helpful, and it could have been a more serious situation had the handle not been able to stay in place. Tell someone where you are going. In this situation, we did have a backup person just in case we didn't turn up at the rendezvous point. It's always important whenever you are going on any hike to tell somebody where you are going and at what time you should be expected back. And last but not least, bring your medication if you take it. A bottle of water, some snacks, extra warm, dry clothing. Bring a small first aid kit. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, just a few bandages in case of a broken limb or a snake bite. These little things can make a difference between life and death. You just never know if the weather suddenly turns or something happens and you're delayed for a few hours or even overnight. Even though we didn't make it all the way to Moran's Falls, we still considered the trip a success. We both had a really good time. Apart from that, people were really nice along the trail and helped us out when we got stuck. We wanted to do Python Rock as well, but the weather really turned against us. It had started to rain quite heavily and Mum had noticed that there was water running down the road on the way to the trailhead. And even though the tracks were quite solid to walk on, we were concerned that there might be a sudden rivulet or maybe a little waterfall that might spring up and cut us off, causing us to be stuck on the other side. So we made the call to turn around and come back. Ironically, when we finally came down the range, the weather actually cleared up and the sun came out. It was a lovely afternoon. By this time, however, we were ready just to go home and take a rest. My name is Hannah, my mum is my voice, and thank you for joining us for Hannah's really awesome adventures.